the mindful musings of two spiritual mamas. We are Alicia
and Shelby,
here to share our 20 years of authentic friendship, life experiences, and acquired wisdom. Infused with love and intention, our episodes will inspire those who are ready to shift their soul path into alignment with its divine purpose.
We will discuss alternative approaches to life's traditional pathways, leaving you with tools in your spiritual toolbox to navigate everyday moments. Knowing and embodying the empowered self on a daily basis is one of the most valuable practices you can adopt. Understanding that you are surrounded by a network of support, both physically and spiritually, will carry you into the next phase of your divine purpose.
You are not alone on this journey. We recognize we're on a spiritual path, navigating our day-to-day lives, and in this podcast, we'll share with you our organic thoughts as we grow and blossom together. Welcome to Two Spiritual Mamas, and this is episode 0. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Shelby.
And we're just going to give you some of our background and let you know more about us since you've been listening to episodes. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. This is the first time you're catching us, but we're going to give you a little intro into who we are and where we're coming from and why we're even here doing this podcast. So I'm going to pass it over to Shelby and ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Shelby, and I was born a Libra and a tiger, if you follow the Chinese zodiac. Alicia is the astrologer of the two of us, so she's telling me my moon is in Aries, which demonstrates my gusto and my fire. I'm also Scorpio rising, and I have so much in my 11th house. I really am just saying these things. I don't really understand them. But what I do know about myself, let's start with that. I was born in Massachusetts. I grew up with a beautiful family. I have 2 sisters, and I really fell in love with dance at a young age. And I started gymnastics at age 9, and I haven't stopped doing gymnastics or dance. To be honest, I played a lot of sports in school. I was a track and field star. I wasn't a star. I was on the track and field team. It was a really amazing team, though. I was also a cheerleader. I was a high diver in college. But really, once I turned 18, I decided to take my life into my own hands, and I moved to Washington, D.C., which was really unique. I didn't last very long. I'm not a very city girl, but I did learn a lot about my love for gymnastics. I coached a few different jobs out there, and that just really dove into my passion. And I also, at that time in my life, this is so cool. I was just telling my daughter about it the other day. I was invited to go to Aspen, Colorado as a nanny for 10 days. And once I went to Colorado, I was like, oh, okay, then. So boom, next season I was living in Colorado, made that happen. I lived there for just 2 years. I ran a gymnastics program, and I loved snowboarding, started competing in the sport, ended up moving to Montana, where I went to Montana State for a few years. I also coached, and I coached snowboarding as well. I really dove a little bit into my intuition at that time, knowing where to go, what to do, which steps to take. And it was at that time that I knew I needed to go back to college at some point. I had been doing a little bit of community college here and there, but I applied at Bastyr University. And that is where Alicia and I's paths crossed. So I started going to school there in 99. I studied nutrition. And Alicia and I met in 2000. We're trying to remember, 2001. We met dancing, and our souls united on the feminine front of a community. And it was tribal belly dance. So it's very collaborative dance style. There's so much to say. I started African dancing back in Montana. So dance and gymnastics, movement, snowboarding, they've been such a major part of my life and my expression of self. I currently live in Vermont, where I own a gymnastics school. Surprise, surprise. And I have 3 children. So I'm a mother of three teenagers at this moment in time. Deep breath. And I am letting go of my second marriage. At this moment, I am reclaiming my sovereignty. I am getting my house in my name and really becoming the queen of my own castle, which is kind of literal. So there's a big moment in my life, a big shift right now into marrying my own sense of self, my own intuition. And it's thrilling, to be honest.
Yay. So exciting. And Shelby, I see you as this bright, shining light. You have always been one of the most joyful and soulful people I've ever met. So the fact that we've stayed connected has partially been because I am so drawn to you and your energy. You're just so vibrant and so playful. I just love your humor, and that's why I think it's so fun to talk to you on these podcasts too.
Well, thank you. I am studying shamanism right now, and I was just studying this morning, and the teacher I'm with, he said, when you feel that heavy energy, dive into the kids, go back and hang out with even a baby or a young child. And Alicia, I've never stopped hanging out with children. I teach 3-year-olds almost every day, and it really keeps me vital. It keeps me with that smile on my face and the joy in my heart, and it's authentic. It's not just a moment. It's really feeds my soul.
You
So
love it so deeply. It comes
I
through
do.
so strongly.
I do. And so, as I mentioned, Alicia and I met belly dancing. And it was funny, after you and I met and I moved back to Vermont, I wanted to continue to belly dance. So I, I had some VHS tapes. How funny is that, right? From Paulette Racine, formerly known as Gypsy Caravan Tribal Belly Dance, and now it's Global Caravan Tribal Belly Dance. So I had to make this commitment to continue to fly back and forth to Portland, which was funny because I was just there for 9 years. And so for quite a few years, 5 or 6 years, I flew back and forth to gain my collective soul certification and my teacher training. I'm level 5 with Paulette. And that forged my relationship with Alicia a lot stronger because I would always stay with you and we would connect in the evenings
Yay.
and share our stories and our current life happenings. But Paulette is somebody who taught me to say, but really, who am I? And so I thought we could do that today.
Who are you really deep down inside,
Yes.
Shelby?
So I've given you my resume and all the things I've done, but really, I am a daughter of Pachamama. And Pachamama is planet Earth, Mother Gaia. I have been feeling this in my bones. I'm getting chills right now. I am just an extension of her beauty, of her grace, of her wisdom. I am the mountain. I am the ants. I am the trees. I am the sun. I am the wind. I'm the fire. I'm the rain. I'm the tears. And since I've stepped into that mindset, it's been so fascinating. It's like magical. My life just flows. The energy, if it gets too much, I know how to release it, just like she does, with a volcano. Not that I'm this erupting person.
You do like to
But
shake it out, though.
yes, exactly. I know when it's time to go shimmy. I know when it's time to stomp my feet and take more of like an African style dance and just let it out. So that is who I see myself as, this extension of the grace and the divinity. I'm looking out my window right now at these white capped mountains and this blue sky. And I just, that's who I am, Alicia. I am the daughter of Pachamama. And of course the divinity of, the heavens and the earth, they're all connected as one. But
Exactly.
yes. How about you, girlfriend? Tell us about you. Give us your resume.
All right. So you started with astrology. So I will say I have been studying astrology since about 2012. And I am a Leo with a Sagittarius rising. My moon is in Aquarius. And if you go even deeper, because some people love this stuff, and I'm one of them, my Venus is in Gemini and my Mars is in Libra. And I think that Mars in Libra and how I move through the world with such a concept of balance, and Shelby's a Libra, like we really have so much of that. Our language is similar. There's so much about that air sign that draws us to each other. And then we've got the
Hmm.
fire, and so I'm a lot of fire and air, and we just make such a good pair in that way. So currently, I'm living in Portland, Oregon. I am a mother to one boy. He is 13 years old and just became a teenager. And I own my own business. I am in wellness, and so I've always been a wellness coach and working with amazing companies that align with my values and I align with theirs for helping people connect with plant medicine like Gaia herbs and New Leaf organic CBD and just all of these companies that I think are fantastic. Iwi does algae omega 3s, and they care about the planet. They care about sustainability. They care about people. And it's been so wonderful to align with them. In the last 3 or 4 years, I've been trained as a spiritual life coach and have my soul coaching international certification. And I've become a meditation guide. And I just love helping people connect within and to see themselves and how they don't connect and clear away the clutter, expand within. And I've been doing that practice for myself since Shelby and I met, and I had a bit of a spiritual awakening into like, oh,
Mm.
I'm not gonna, we were at Bastyr. I studied herbal science and I decided not to go on into the naturopathic doctorate path. And it was actually, for those of you into astrology, it was when Pluto moved into my first house. And I talk about eruption. Pluto is the planet of letting go with expulsion, and I just felt like I vomited out the idea. I'm no longer going to be a doctor. Nope, couldn't do that anymore. So this wide world of who knows what I was going to do ahead of me. I actually always knew I was a healer. And I grew up all over. Both of my parents are artists, and we traveled a lot. So, born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, grew up in Key Largo, Florida. I've got this I've lived in Georgia, Tennessee before moving out west to go to college. And in that awakening, I felt so lost because I kind of had this planned out for a long time. So finding a spiritual teacher was really important to me. And Judy Yamamura has been that teacher. She's a key part of my story and that transition that I went through. More recently, I found another teacher, Tosha Silver, who wrote the book Outrageous Openness, and that helped me shift again. And so this journey of my spiritual path, my mom even taught me how to meditate when I was a teenager. My dad was showing me Tai Chi forms, and my mom used to teach yoga back in the 70s. Like,
Awesome.
I was so lucky to be raised by that wellness culture and within my family. But to be on this path for myself and really find my own way, I I used the soul coaching book by Denise Lynn so much. And I think Shelby, you and I both talk about how the Celestine prophecy was one of our like, this is how I want to live. I really feel like following my intuition and understanding the spiritual realm and how I play, how, the energy interplays within me has been just my purpose, my path. It's been such a wonderful,
Yeah, that book gave me a vocabulary I'd been searching for so long.
yes.
I mean, I was like 19, so not that long, but it was like, oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Every chapter, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is thrilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay. So I changed my name after my second divorce to Love because I do really truly believe in embodying that unconditional love, living from that place. And it made me feel that sovereign self, Shelby, that you were talking about, that I really did understand myself, that I am love, and that's what I want to be here to do. So here I am,
Yay.
sharing the love with you all.
And you're also a Reiki practitioner.
Thank you. I traveled the world as a young person and was lucky to, well, you didn't even mention you're a
I forgot.
Reiki master.
I forgot.
I am now level 2 trained, but I got my level 1 initiation when I was in India and have had some amazing journeys and stories to share about traveling the world. It definitely changes your perspective and it helps to understand how to be grateful and happy even when you don't have the affluence that we see around us so much here in this country. So what else?
Well, I want to know but really, Alicia, because
But
or I
really,
can say, I'll say real quick what I think. But really, Alicia is my velvet friend. If there's a texture to Alicia, in my opinion, it's velvet. I know you can hear it in her voice, but it's that calm that comes over me when I call her, and that intuitive hit when I'm like, I need to call Alicia. And I'm blessed with a beautiful network of feminine friends that I tap into. And Alicia, you just bring that centeredness and that knowingness. And you had just said it, that unconditional love. Not everybody has this in our lives. And you, my friend, are sunshine, velvet, wisdom. But no, you don't judge. It's such a remarkable thing to have someone who really hears you and sees you. And I appreciate you so much. So thank you for being you. But now I want to hear what you think of you. Did you even
thank
think you were
you.
velvet?
I did not think that I was velvet. Thank you. I get that about my voice with my meditations. And now with the podcast, I love that people love the calmness of my voice, but I never thought of it in that textural way. That's really cool. Thank you for that. But really, I embody the divine feminine and have been working towards finding that inner masculine feminine balance in a way to love from that place and really embody it so that others can see that in
Mhm.
themselves. Because I think we give others permission. When we speak up, it shows others they can speak up. And when we embody some energy, other people can and resonate with that and see it and
Witness.
gives them permission to embody it in themselves. So that's my wish and blessing to the world is through me, my embodiment of these practices, through this divine feminine. I wish that all the women and men of the world, for everyone, to be able to embody their version of it and to shine from that place, because it's just so wonderful. It feels so good to feel so connected to the divine in that way.
And so centered. And I think that most people can relate to this, but we're all born to serve, to serve ourselves, but to serve the community. And we have to learn a balance. And that's what our podcast is about. Almost every episode leans into that a little bit about how to
Yeah.
not overextend and how to serve in a healthy way with healthy boundaries. You and I we're really leaning into that ourselves of how do we be an example and how do we shine our light brighter so that others can witness and say, hey, if they can figure it out, we can figure it out.
Yeah, and we're here to share those tips, anything and everything that we've gathered, accumulated, learned,
Mhm.
and embodied. We would love to take this time. This is our gift to you
Mhm.
to help others also find their way in their spiritual journey and embodying that for their lives.
Mhm. And I'll do my little plug to Judy because Judy Yamamura, I've been devoted to her she's my spiritual midwife. She's been devoted to helping me birth myself for 20 plus years. And just last night we talked, and my new motto, I haven't even told you, it's
Yay.
it's shifting from the survival to the thriving. I'll call it thrivaling,
Yes.
survival to thrival. but really,
But
but
really,
really, it's that thriving where I'm sustainable, where it's like Reiki actually, where I become a channel instead of just a vessel that gets emptied and refilled. It's like I want to be that channel that continuously understands where to regenerate, rejuvenate, refill. Not even refill though, like I'm saying, just
the constant flow,
the flow, the flow. Yes.
living
So,
as the vessel of divine flow.
mhm.
That could be my but really, I am a vessel of divine flow.
So after you shut this off, everybody, I hope you go and look in the mirror and say, but really, and practice this. It's really fun to talk about who you really are. You know, are you a condor? But really, are you a big grizzly bear?
Oh, I'm
you
a
know,
mama bear at
uh,
heart for
yes,
sure.
but really. So yay.
Well, have a wonderful day, everyone. Check out our next episode and follow, subscribe. We have our website, twospiritualmamas.com, and a Facebook where we love to engage with our community. So please connect, reach out, and let us know who you are.
Yes, I think we have Instagram too, right?
We sure do. Yay.
Alicia's in charge of all that stuff.
Glad you reminded
We are
everyone.
collaborating here. Yes. Well, thank
A
you, everybody.
true collaboration. I love it.
Absolutely.
Blessings.
Oh.
Namaste. Aho.